This conference will now be recorded.
So in the previous session, we have discussed about the data management, and we have discussed what exactly the data management or data migration, and how can we perform the data management inside our Salesforce objects, and what are the various ways available to perform the operations on your Salesforce object records we have discussed, and the limitations of each and every approach we have discussed in the previous session. Like we have discussed about the page layouts and Apex programming, and we have discussed about the data import wizard. Simply, this is also called as import wizard. Import wizard or data import wizard, both are same, no change. And then we have discussed about data export, and then we have discussed about an on-premise tool provided by Salesforce that is called as a data loader. So that already we have discussed, data loader is an on-premise tool which requires the installation, in order to perform both import and export operations on your Salesforce object records. By using this data loader, we can perform both import operations also, export operations also both. That means we can insert the records, we can update the records, we can delete the records, we can upsert the records, we can export the records also from your Salesforce objects. So we can perform both import operations and export operations on your Salesforce objects. But at a time, we can interact with only one object through data loader also, or it may be import wizard also, it may be page layout also. We can interact with only one object at a time, not with multiple objects. It may be upon import also, upon export also, we can get the data from only one object. Now, whenever we are using this data loader tool, first of all, we have to install into your local device, then only we can start utilizing this. Now, so then how can we supply the records to my data loader? It may be upon insertion or upon updation, upon deletion. How can we supply the input to my data loader? So that already we have discussed that in the previous session. Whenever if you want to interact with your Salesforce objects through data loader, we have to supply the input to the data loader in the form of .csv files, comma separated value files. And once operations has been done, data loader will be generating two files to you as output. One is a success file, second one error file. Because data loader internally supporting partial processing mechanism. It is purely supporting partial processing mechanism. That means upon processing the records, okay, upon processing the records, it may be insert, it may be update, it may be delete, whatever, anything. Upon processing the records, if any of the record operation has been failed, simply it will ignore that record, it will continue with the rest of the records as it is. So that means it is supporting purely partial processing mechanism. So once the operations has been done, finally it will be generating two files to you as output. One is a success file, second one an error file. So whatever the records has been processed successfully, those records information will be placing inside the success file. Whatever the records has been failed to process, those failed records information it will write inside the error file. So by end of the operation, we can see how many records has been processed successfully, how many records has been failed, and why the records has been failed, we can track it out. And based on that, we can correct those values, we can supply the right values to those fields, and we can reprocess that failed records again. That facility is available. Okay, now, so now whenever it is performing the operations on the records, data loader is going to be purely supporting batch programming. That means it will divide all the records into the various small pieces called as the batches. So now that each batch will be having some specific number of records. That each batch will be having some specific number of records. Now, so dividing the batches will be based on the APIs. Based on the API, it will be dividing the records to various batches. By default, data loader is supporting Apex API, where as part of Apex API, each batch should have minimum 1 record, maximum of 2000 records. So in between this range, we can give any value, whatever you want. If you want to divide the records to various batches of size 10, we can give the batch size also, depends upon our requirement. I will show you how to specify the batch size also. We can give the batch size, but the size should be minimum 1, maximum of 2000, not more than that. Okay, in between that 1 to 2000, we can give any value, whatever you want. It may be 10 also, 20 also, 50 also, 100 also, 1000 also, whatever you want. We can give that batch size, depends upon your requirement. Suppose if you are not providing any batch size, then by default, Salesforce is considering the default batch size as 200. Okay, if you are not providing any batch size, then by default, Salesforce is considering the default batch size as 200 per batch. That means each batch will be having 200 records. So now the first 200 records in batch 1, next 200 records in batch 2, next 200 records in batch 3. Like that, it will be dividing the records to various batches internally. And then it will be performing the operations on each batch one by one. Okay, clear? Now, so now in this case, sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I don't want to process only 2000. I want to process a more number of records per batch. Because I'm having some large number of records are available with me. If you're processing 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000 like that, it will take more time. So I want to consider more number of records per batch, like as 4000 records per batch, 5000 records per batch. At that time, we can able to enable bulk API. We can enable bulk API. So now as part of this bulk API, the minimum batch size will be 1, maximum batch size will be, okay, 10,000. So now in between this range 1 and the 10,000, we can give that batch size whatever you want. Suppose if you are not providing any batch size by your own, then data loader will be considering the default batch size as 2000. That means first 2000 records will be in batch 1, next 2000 records in batch 2, next 2000 records in batch 3. Like that, it will be dividing the records to various batches and it will process it. Okay, clear? Now, so these are the two APIs are available which will be supporting by the data loader, either Apex API and the bulk API. Apex API is the default one. If you want to process more number of records per batch, then we can enable bulk API also. Okay, now, so now let's see here. Let's move forward to the remaining features. Whenever we are going to be using this data loader, okay, upon using this data loader, so first of all, we have to install. So from where we can install this one? From the Google or from the internet? No. So we have to install the data loader from your Salesforce organization. We have to go to your Salesforce org, and from there we have to install the data loader into your local system. Now, upon installing the data loader has come up with the two flavors. We have two flavors of data loader. First one, data loader for Windows. Second one, data loader for Mac. Okay, data loader for Windows and data loader for Mac. So now we are having this two flavors of data loader. Depends upon the operating system that we have inside your local system, we have to choose the respective flavor of data loader. Suppose if you are using Windows operating system, then we can go with the help of data loader for Windows. Suppose if you are using a MacBook, that means iOS based device, then we can go with the data loader for Mac. So depends upon the operating system. Okay, depends upon the operating system which we have inside your local system. Okay, we can install the respective flavor of data loader into your Salesforce Arc. Okay, now let's make a note of this one. Let me give the note type. The data loader tool is available in two flavors as below. First one, a data loader for Windows. Second one, data loader for Mac. Now, these are the two flavors. Then how to go to this navigation? Now let's see. Click on setup menu. Search for the option data loader in quick find box. Go to the data loader wizard. Download the required flavor of data loader inside the device. Download the required flavor of data loader inside the device. Done with the navigation? Now, let me go to my Salesforce Arc. Now, let's go to the setup menu and search for the option data loader. Okay, data loader. Click on this data loader link. Now it is providing this data loader wizard over here. It is giving this complete information about this data loader, what exactly the data loader, what is the use, and then what we can do, how to supply the input, okay, what is the prerequisite to install the data loader, everything will be given by this Salesforce. Now, here we are having the links are available. Depends upon the operating system which we have inside your local device. So now just you can choose the flavor of data loader. So now we have data loader for Windows and we have data loader for Mac. These are the two flavors are available. So now depends upon the operating system we have to choose. So upon installing this data loader, if you're facing any difficulty, just you can use this instruction guides also. Salesforce has given that instruction guides also, so that just you can follow this instruction guide and then we can follow these steps also in order to install the data loader. It's a very simple tool. It doesn't request any installation guides, nothing. So now it's directly just you can able to download this and then which will be available in the form of a zip file. Just you can extract this zip file and then you can install the data loader directly. It's a small tool. Okay, now. So upon installing this data loader inside your iOS-based device, that means a MacBook, then if you want any instruction, then you can follow this instruction guide also. So now these are the two flavors are available as part of this data loader. So now already I have installed the data loader into my local device. Okay, now let me show you how the data loader device, data loader tool will look like. Okay, now. So let me go to that data loader tool. Now, so now this is the look and feel of data loader. It's a small client tool. It's a small application, okay, which requires installation and which we can use to perform the both import and export operations on your Salesforce object cards. Okay, now, so now by using this tool, we can perform totally 7 operations. We can perform 7 operations on your Salesforce objects, like insert, update, delete, upsert, hard delete, export, export all. These are the 7 operations. We can perform totally 7 operations through data loader. So these are the 7 buttons are available. Insert button, update, and then upsert, delete, hard delete, export, and the export all. These are the 7 buttons are available. By default, whenever you are installing the data loader into a local device, this hard delete button will be in the disabled state. Okay. Upon installing the data loader into a local device, so now the hard delete button will be in the disabled state. Okay. Now we can make it enable. Okay, we can make it enable also. How to make it enable? I will show you practically as well. Now, so in this case, that already told you, data loader is purely supporting the bash programming internally. Whatever the records that I'm supplying to this data loader as input in the form of a CSV file, those records will be dividing into the various small pieces called as batches. Then what is the proof that it is going to be using batch programming? Just you can go to the settings option here. There is a menu bar is available, file menu, settings, view, and the help. Click on this settings menu. Click on this menu item. Now we can see the settings here. These are the various settings are available. So now it is indicating the batch size as 2000. Okay, batch size as 2000. So why it is indicating batch size as 2000? Because here I already have enabled bulk API. Okay, bulk API. So we have selected the checkbox. Okay, use bulk API. Suppose, for example, here, if I'm unselecting this checkbox, observe this one. If I'm unselecting this checkbox, then automatically data loader will use Apex API. In Apex API, what is the minimum batch size? 1. Maximum batch size, okay, 2000. What is the default batch size? 200. Now, in this case, whenever I'm going to unselecting, right now it is having 2000. Observe this one, what will happen? If I'm unselecting this checkbox, then automatically, what is the batch size now? 200. So now the default batch size for your Apex API is 200. Suppose if I'm selecting this bulk API, automatically batch size will be 2000 again. Okay, depends upon the requirement, we can indicate that batch size. So now here I'm disabling this bulk API. I don't want to use bulk API. I want to go with the Apex API as it is. Now, so once you are done with that settings, then click on OK button. Now let's see. So now this hard delete button has been disabled state. So now whatever the hard delete button that we have on the data loader, this is in disabled state. Whenever we are installing the data loader, okay, this is the look and feel will be giving by Salesforce. So by default, 6 buttons will be on enabled state, 1 button will be in disabled state. If you want to enable this one, just you can select the option, okay, bulk API. Use bulk API, automatically this buttons will be getting enabled automatically by default. Okay, clear up to this one? Now, so now once the tool is available with me, once the tool is ready with me, then I would like to go with the operations. So whenever if you want to perform some operations, what operations we can do? Insert operation, update operation, delete operations, and we can export the data also. So from which object? Account object. From which organization? We have to specify. So now we are fetching some data from the object, or we are inserting some records into the object here. So in which object here? Account object, contact, lead, custom object, whatever, anything. So now that object should be related to one specific organization. So now to which organization you would like to interact, we have to specify. So whenever we are going to be using this data loader, we have to connect this data loader with your Salesforce R. For that one, we have to map the connection. How to map the connection? For that one, we have to log in into your data loader. Okay, we have to log in into data loader. Upon performing the operations on your Salesforce objects through data loader, first of all, we have to log in into the data loader first. So upon logging into the data loader, we have two types of authentication mechanisms are available in data loader. Data loader provides two types of authentication mechanisms. One is OAuth authentications, that is also called as open authentication. Okay, OAuth means open authentication. Second one, password authentication. Okay, second one, password authentication. So OAuth authentication we are not using right now because OAuth authentication requires access tokens, which requires to interact with that Salesforce authorization service. Now we would like to go with that password authentication. That means by using the username and the password, we can able to connect to the respective organization. So now what username and the password? So whatever the Salesforce account that we have, okay, whatever the Salesforce account that we have, to which you would like to connect, that Salesforce account's credentials we have to use to log into data loader. Through data loader, I would like to log in into my Salesforce organization with a Salesforce account credentials. Now, then how can we do that? So when you click on this, any of the button, whatever it might be, it may be insert also, update also, export also, anything. Upon click on any button control, first of all, it will ask you to log in. Upon logging into the data loader, we have to use the two types of authentications. OAuth authentication, this is also called as O means open authentication. Second one, password authentication. Now, so now in this case, I would like to go with the password authentication. Whenever we are using this password authentication, we have to specify the username and the password of your Salesforce R. To which Salesforce account you would like to connect. Okay, to which Salesforce account you would like to connect, that Salesforce account's username and the password we have to provide. Okay, clear? Now, let's see. So in this case, I would like to log in into my data loader. So now this is my Salesforce R. I'm having my user details are available here. This is my Salesforce organization. So this is the username. Copy this username which we are using to log in into your Salesforce account. Specify the username and specify the password. Okay, specify the password. URL will be login.salesforce.com same. That means by using this data loader tool, I am going to be interacting with my Salesforce account. Now click on login. When you click on login, it won't allow to log in directly. So once you click on login, it will be giving this error message. Please check your username and the password. Why? Because maybe the hacker people has collected your username and the password by using some other alternative ways. Somehow he has hacked your details here. He has collected your username and the password. With that username and the password, he is trying to be connecting to your Salesforce or he is trying to be performing some malfunctioning inside this. So in this case, Salesforce is not allowing you to directly connect to that Salesforce R with the username and the password. Along with the password, it requires one more authentication key that is called as security token. It requires a security token. We have to generate the security token mandatorily. Without the security token, we can't log into your data loader. Now, then how to generate the security token? Okay, now let me explain. Let me give you the navigation steps first, and then I will show you how can we generate the security token, how can we collect it. Okay, now, clear up to this one? Now, make a note of this. Note. While performing the operations on the Salesforce objects, we have to log into the data loader tool first. First of all, we have to log into the data loader. Now, data loader provides two types of authentications. First one, OAuth authentication, which requires an access token. Access token which can be generated by interacting with or by integrating with Salesforce authorization servers. This is also called as open authentication. Second one, password authentication. Password authentication. Now, by using this approach, we can log in into the data loader by using the Salesforce account credentials. The username will be Salesforce account username, and the password will be Salesforce account password plus security token. Now, how to generate the security token? Now let's see. So now click on the profile icon. Inside the organization, click on settings link. Go to the personal and expand it. Go to the personal and expand it. Click on reset my security token link button. Click on reset my security token link, and then click on reset security token button. Now, the observation is it will generate the security token and will send to the user's email ID automatically by default. Now, log into the email application. For example, Gmail. Open the email received from Salesforce. Copy the security token and place the security token along with password and log in into the data loader. And log in into data loader. So this is the navigation we used to follow in order to generate the security token. Sometimes in the interview point of view, they will raise a question, without generating the security token, how to log into the data loader. There is an alternative mechanism is available. I will show you that mechanism also. Done. Done with the navigation. Now let's see. So how can we generate the security token? Now let's see practically. Because upon login to the data loader, we have to specify the username. That means your Salesforce account username, and the password should be your Salesforce account password and along with security token also. Both we have to provide. Don't give any plus symbol. Just you can type the password of your Salesforce account, and then immediately we can paste that security token which you have generated from your Arc. Now, let's see. How can we generate that security token? Just you can go to your Salesforce Arc, go to the profile icon on the top right corner, click on settings link. Okay, click on settings link, which is available beside this. Okay, log out. Click on the settings link. Now it is providing the settings menu in the left panel. Go to the personal option, and here we have a button called as reset my security token link. You can click on reset my security token link. Now click on this link. Now it is providing a user interface. There you will be having the button, okay, reset security token button. Click on this reset security token button, then it will be generating a security token. But the token will not be visible to you over here. It will send this token to this currently logged in user's email ID automatically by default. So now upon creating this Salesforce account, whatever the email ID that I have given, so now to that email ID, it will send the security token automatically. That means more security it is providing to you. Okay, now. So now in this case, now click on reset security token button. Security token has been generated. It has been sent to that user's email ID automatically by default. Even though if any of the hacker person will aware of your username and the password, when they try to log in into the data loader, he requires the security token. So now upon generating the security token, so now it will be sending to that email ID. That means that email ID credentials will be aware of you, not the other people. Now, so now let me log in into my Gmail account. So now I have received one email notification from Salesforce, your new security token. Now this is the security token generated by Salesforce, which is purely case sensitive. Okay, which is purely case sensitive. Now, just you can copy this security token. Now, let's go to the data loader. Along with this password, you can specify the security token also. Now click on login. Let's click on export. I'm giving the password, security token. Click on login. Now my login is successful. So whatever the password and the security token that I have given, it is verifying the details over here. Now my login is confirmed. Just you can cancel the screen. Now let's go with that operations, whatever you want. It will be any operation, whatever you want, you can do the operations. So now first of all, we have to log in into the data loader with your credentials. Just you can use your Salesforce username and the password along with security token. We can log in into the data loader. Clear? Understand the concept now? Now, this is one way. Now, sometimes you can raise the question, sir, I'm logging into the data loader 10 times daily, like morning at 10 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then some afternoon 2 o'clock. Like that, I'm going to be using data loader, okay, multiple times per day. Now tell me, each time whenever I'm going to use a data loader, do I need to generate a new security token every time? No. Once the security token has been generated, the same token we can use for next 90 days, 90. We can use this same security token for next 90 days. Just you can store the security token somewhere inside your local system. Use that same security token every time, okay, upon logging into the data load. For the next 90 days, we can use that same. In between this 90 days, if you change the password of your Salesforce account, then automatically your security token will be changing by Salesforce by default. Once you change the password of your Salesforce account, automatically security token will be regenerated by Salesforce. The old security token will not work. A new token will be generating by Salesforce. It will send that new token to your email ID automatically by default. Okay, clear? Now in this case, sometimes in the interview point of view, they will raise a question. I don't want to log in into my data loader by using security token. Without using security token, do we have any alternative way to log in into my data loader? Just by using my Salesforce account credentials itself. By using my Salesforce account username and the password itself, I would like to log in into my data loader. How? How can we do that? So now in this case here, we have to add universal IP address inside your profile level. Inside your profile level, we have to add a universal IP address. Now, let me show you practically how can we do that. I'm logged out from this data loader here. Click on log. So now once you click on this export, again it is asking you to log in into the data loader. Now, I don't want to log in with the security token just by using my Salesforce account, username and the password only. I would like to log in. Let's see. Now click on export. Now whenever I'm specifying the password, it won't allow. It won't allow me to log in. We have to provide the security token mandatorily here. Now, I don't want to use that security token directly. I would like to log in with my Salesforce account credentials. How? Now let's see. Just you can go to your Salesforce arc, go to the quick find box, search for the option users. Okay, search for the option users. Go to the setup menu, search for the option users. Click on users link. Go to the user. Okay, this is a username that we have inside our Salesforce arc. Now go to this user and then click on the profile name. Okay, this is the user. This is the profile name. This is the profile name. Just click on the profile name. Now this is the profile information. When you come down to the profile, at the last you will be having one section called as login IP ranges section. There is a section called as login IP ranges section. There is a section called as login IP ranges. Click on this new button. Okay, click on this new button and the universal IP address. Specify the starting IP address and the ending IP address. Now the starting IP address, ending IP address. Now I'm indicating starting IP address as all are zeros. 0.0.0.0. This is the starting IP address. Okay, this is the starting IP address 0.0.0.0. Ending IP address will be 255.255.255.255. Now, so now this is the range. Each and every system's IP addresses will be comes between this particular range only here. Okay, each and every system's IP address will be comes under between this particular range itself. Now, so the starting IP address will be 0.0.0.0. Ending IP address will be okay 255.255.255.255. Now this is the range. This is called as a universal IP address because all the system's IP addresses are comes under this particular range only here. Now click on save button. So now from now onwards, okay, from now onwards, go to the data loader, click on export, specify the username and the password. I'm not providing any security token. Click on login. My login is successful. So without providing the security token also, we can log into the data loader just by enabling the universal IP address inside your profile. Okay, now just you can cancel this operation and then use that operation whatever you want. Okay, clear? Now, this is the second approach here. This is a common question in most of the interviews without using security token, how to log into the data. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. Now, we can log in into the data loader without using the security token. Without using the security token as below. As below. Now, what needs to be done? We have to add the universal IP address inside the user's profile. Okay, inside the user's profile. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. Now let me indicate this. Log into the Salesforce account. Click on Setup menu. Search for the option Users. Go to the user account. For example, training batch, and click on profile name. And click on profile. Go to the user's profile and go to the login IP ranges section. Click on new button. Sorry, click on add button. Enter the universal IP address. Starting IP address 0.0.0.0. Ending IP address 255.255.255.255. Click on save button. Now log in into the data loader by using Salesforce account to username and password. So this is the navigation we used to follow. Better to make a note of this one. Bring the notebook. Okay, don't take the photos in the class.
ఏ బాయ్ మమ్మీ బాయ్ అక్క పోతుంది అక్క అదిగో
Done with the navigation? Now, so once we have logged into the data loader by using either security token or by using your login IP ranges also, whatever anyway, we can use that. Any one of this way we can, it depends upon your organization requirement. So now if you're feeling difficult to generate the security token every time, just you can go with that, the profile label and then add this universal IP address. Or else you can go with that security token. Now let's see. So once we have logged into the data loader, how to perform the operations. So now let's see one by one each and every operation, how can we do that? That already we know data loader supports to perform 7 operations. Okay, data loader supports to perform 7 operations like info insert and then update, upsert, delete, hard delete, export, export all. Total 7 operations. Okay. Now let's see how can we do each and every operation one by one. Now make a note of this one. Data loader allows us to perform the below 7 operations. Below 7 operations. First one, export. Second one, export all. Third one, insert. Fourth one, sixth, delete. Seventh one, hard delete. These are the 7 operations we can do with the help of data loader. So now let's see each and every operation one by one with the practical. How to export the data, how to perform the export all, how to insert, how to update, how to delete, and how can we perform that hard delete operation. Everything we'll see one by one. So now first one, export operation. So what do you mean export? In the sense fetching the data from Salesforce object to local system. Okay, now for example, assume that I'm having a Salesforce object. It may be standard, it may be custom, anything. Assume that it's an account object. In my account object, I'm having some 400 records are available. Okay, I have 400 records. Now I'm using this data loader tool. Through this data loader tool, I would like to export the records. Okay, we can export the records. I want to export the records from my Salesforce object to my local device. Now, in this case here, whenever if we are going to be using this export operation is going to be collecting the records available inside the specified object, and then it will be storing inside your local device in the form of a .csv file. Okay, it will be storing that records in the form of a .csv file inside your local device. Now, so here we are having the options. What is that options? Sometimes you can raise the question, sir, inside my account object, we have 400 records are available, but I don't want all the 400 records. I want only those account records whose rating is hot. I want only those account records whose annual revenue more than some 45 crores. Sometimes I want only those account records, whose industry equals to some finance. Sometimes I want only those accounts, whose billing city is equals to some Hyderabad. Remaining records I don't want. Now tell me, do we have any facility to apply this kind of conditions? Yes, that is also possible. By using data loader, not only exporting all the records available inside the object, we can export only those records which you want by adding the user-defined conditions. Depends upon your requirement, we can add one or more user-defined conditions in order to filter out the records. Whatever the records that you want, we can export them. No need to fetch all the records available inside your object. Okay, so we can add your own required user-defined conditions also. Now, then how can we do that? We'll see. Next one. Let me explain one more small point over here. So now inside my account object, I'm having so many fields are available. Like we have ID field, name field, rating field, industry, annual revenue, type, phone, fax, website, billing address, like that so many fields are available. But upon exporting the data from my account object, I don't want all these columns. I want only some specific columns. Like I want ID columns data, name column, rating, industry, annual revenue, customer priority, and active status, phone, and fax. That's it. Remaining columns data I don't want. Do we have any option to choose the columns which we want? Yes, that is also available. Upon exporting the data into a local system, we can choose what columns data that you want to export. And then what conditions you want to apply, we can specify those conditions also, depends upon your requirement. So no need to export all the records available inside the object. Whatever the object, whatever the records that you want, whatever the columns that you want, we can able to export. Depends upon your requirement. We can able to specify the conditions. We can select the columns also. Now, sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question. So now inside my data loader, do we have any facility to fetch the specific number of records? That means, for example, I'm having 400 records are available, but I don't want 400. I want only 10 records. What 10 records? It may be any 10 records. I'm not bothered about that. Just I want 10 records. Any 10 records, I'm not bothered about that. It may be any rating value, any industry, whatever, I'm not bothered about that. Just I want 10 records. Do we have any facility? Yes. That is also applicable. At that time, we are using the help of a class called as limit class. We can able to use the help of limit class. We can specify how many number of records that you want. Like for example, when you go to your bank ATM machine, once you select the option mini statement, it is providing the mini statement to you. And the transaction slip, it will be indicating how many transaction details? Only mini statement inside your bank account, mini statement. Last 10 transaction, recently performed 10 transaction details will be getting visible.
10 or 8.
Even though you might have performed some thousands of transactions or hundreds of transactions, okay? So now in the past, it won't show all, it is providing only the recently performed 10 transaction details inside. That means exactly 10. That means they have indicated that don't show all, please show only the recently performed 10 transaction details. Like the similar way here also, we can able to specify how many number of records you would like to export by using this limit class. Limit class is used to indicate how many number of records has to get exported. If you want to export only 2, then you can specify limit 2. It will export only 2 records here. Even though inside your object you might be having some hundreds of records, it will export only 2 records here, not more than that. So we can restrict that how many number of records that you buy. Okay, that facility is available. So export operation is used to export the records from your Salesforce object to your local system. The exported data will be storing inside your local device inside the file with the extension .csv. Because that already we know data loader is purely supporting CSV file formats. It may be input, it may be export also, both. That means it may be input, it may be output files also, both will be CSV file formats. Okay, now make a note of this one. We'll see how can we perform these operations. Export. By using this operation, we can export or fetch the records from Salesforce object to the local device, local system, in the form of .csv file. While exporting the records, we can select the fields. We can select the fields and we can add the required user-defined conditions. While exporting the records, we can select the fields and we can add the required user-defined conditions to filter the records.
Your voice is not audible.
Now let's see. So now let's see. So whatever the records that we have interacted as of now, those record names will be getting populated. It is not populating all the objects of Salesforce. Okay, only few object names are populated over. If you want to see all the objects of Salesforce, then just you can select the checkbox or show all Salesforce objects. There is a small checkbox or show all Salesforce objects. Now, once you select this one, all the object names will be getting populated. These are all the various objects that we have in Salesforce. We can see all those objects information, including standard, including custom, everything. But I don't want to see all those objects. I want to see only the objects which I'm interacting as of now. Now, the recently used objects. I want to export the data from my account object. So select that object. So that already told you. By using data loader, we can interact with only one object at a time, not with multiple objects. Okay. Now, select the object name, okay, from which you would like to export the data. Now, specify the target location. So now from this account object, we are exporting the data. That exported data will be placing inside a CSV file. Now, where you want me to save that CSV file? So now choose the location. Now choose the location. So there is a browse button is available. Select that target for extraction. Whatever the data has been extracted, that data will be placing inside a file with the name extract.csv, and then where you want to save this file. Choose that location. Now click on browse button. Now I'm selecting that file over here. Let me go to my folder. Okay, SFDC batch 353. Inside that we have a folder called as the data loader extracts. Inside this folder, I would like to place that CSV file. Now for that file, I would like to give you a name. By default, Salesforce is giving the name as simply extract. I don't want to give this name simply extract. I would like to specify accounts export.csv. Okay, I'm giving this a file name, accounts_export.csv, because I'm exporting all the account records available inside my object. So that I'm giving the name as accounts_export.csv. Now click on save. Now the specified location has been placed over here. So this is the path of the location where exactly the file will be getting resides. Click on next button. Now choose the fields. What fields information you would like to fetch. Now it is providing the two sections here. So now this is the control which is used to select the fields information. What fields data you would like to fetch. Select that fields. So inside my account object, whatever the fields are available, including standard, including custom, all the field names are getting populated in the form of, okay, the list box options. But each and every option will be visible in the form of a checkbox. So that's what this is called as a checked list box control. So this is called as a checked list box control. Now, let's see. So now here we can select that columns. What columns data you would like to fetch, we can specify. And the next one, we can apply the filters. This is the option to add the conditions. What conditions that you want, we can specify the conditions. Select the field name also, select the operator also, and then we can specify the value, with which value you would like to apply the condition. We can add one or more number of conditions, not only one, multiple conditions also we can add one by one, one by one, one by one. So now whenever we are going to be selecting these columns and adding the condition, so now inside this particular text area, it is preparing the query. So now in order to export the data, to fetch the data from the Salesforce object, whatever the Salesforce SQL query is required, that query will be preparing the Salesforce inside this particular text area by default, which is in editable format. Now, let me show you. Let's see. I want to fetch the data from my account object. I'm selecting account number. Let's see. Whenever I'm selecting this account number, the query has been prepared. Select account number from account. It is preparing the query. I want to fetch the active status also. Now automatically column also has been added here, active underscore underscore C. Now I want to fetch annual revenue. I want to fetch the billing city, billing country, billing state also. I want to fetch the customer priority, fax number and the ID value, industry field. I would like to fetch the name field value. I would like to fetch the ownership, phone number and the rating. And then I would like to fetch the type field value and the website. These are the fields. So now whenever we are going to preparing this, okay, whenever I'm selecting these columns, automatically Salesforce is going to be preparing the query over here. Okay, Salesforce is preparing the query over here. This is the query has been prepared by Salesforce. Now, let me place this one. Let me show. Okay, this is the query. So now select, okay, select class. It is selecting this all the columns, whatever the columns you have selected, column names are populated from object. It is fetching this data from the account object, okay, for all these columns information. Now, so now upon fetching this data, if you want to add some conditions, then you can specify the conditions also. I want to apply the condition like some industry equals to some banking. Then in this case, we can specify the column name. Industry value equals to banking. Okay, select that banking. Once you click on add condition, automatically the condition will be getting added over here. Now it is adding the condition where industry equals to banking. If you want to add one more condition, then you can add one more. I would like to specify the rating field value. Rating should be equals to hard. Once you click on add condition, automatically one more condition where industry equals to banking and the rating equals to hard. Two conditions has been added. Suppose if you want to remove this condition, just you can click on clear all conditions. Only the conditions part will be getting removed. Now the conditions has been removed over. Sometimes if you want to apply, if you want to fetch only 10 records, just you can specify the limit. Limit, okay, 5 or limit 10. Limit 2, depends upon the requirement. We can use that limit class by typing manually, okay, inside your text area. Okay, clear? Now, so now I would like to export all the records available inside my object. So now I'm selecting this particular columns over here. What fields data you would like to export? We have selected that. Now click on finish button. Now it is asking for the confirmation. So now you have selected that, okay, in export operation, you want me to go ahead or yes, let me go ahead. Click on yes. It will be exporting the data over here. Now it is indicating the confirmation. Your operation has fully completed. There were 15 successful extractions and 0 errors. That means my operation has been done. Whatever the 15 records available inside my object, all the records has been exported successfully with a 0 errors. No errors are available. Okay, clear? Understood the concept here, how to do this one? Now, practice is very, very important because the data management features are very, very important in the real-time implementations. Okay, now click on OK. Let me go back to my folder. Now the file has been prepared, accounts export. Now just you can double click on this file, we can see the data as well. Whatever the data that we have placed, the data has been exported automatically into my local device. So these are the records. These are the records. So now this is the account number field, active underscore C, annual revenue, billing city, billing country, billing state, customer priority, fax numbers, record IDs, and the industry names, name values, ownership, and the phone, rating values, type, and the website. So all the records has been exported over here. So whatever the 15 records are available, all the 15 records has been exported to my local device automatically by default. Clear? Understood the concept now? Now, here if you want to filter out the record, then you can apply the filters. Just you can go to that filter section over here, click on filter. Now the filters has been applied. Okay, if you want to see that only the active status record, just you can select that yes, and then we can see only the active status related records over here. We can filter it out inside your Excel sheet, whatever you want. This is purely Excel sheet format over here. But the extension should be always a .csv. Don't use .xls because Excel sheet extension will be .xls. Don't use .xls. Please use the .csv file format. Okay, clear? Now, so this is the way we can able to export the records inside your Salesforce object. Okay, now second one. Second one, export all. So now tell me, what do you mean by this export all operation? What exactly it represents basically? So what did you understood with the word, okay, export all?
All Salesforce data will
Recycle bin records also it export.
Export all in the sense.
Deleted records also export.
Now, let's see in this case, what exactly it is. Okay, now let's see. So now what exactly the export all operation? Okay, now let's see practically. For example, assume that I have an object. So this is my account object. In my account object, I'm having some 100 records. Now, whenever I'm using this export operation, okay, upon using this export operation, it will export all the records available inside the object. That means all the 100. Whatever the 100 records are available, all the 100 records will be getting exported. Now, so now after exporting that, okay, I have deleted, okay, 5 records. Okay, I have deleted 5 records. Okay, 5 records I have deleted. Those records are available inside the recycle bin. Okay, deleted 5 records will be available in recycle bin. Okay, now fine. So now I'm exporting these records. Now when I click on this export button, then tell me how many records it will export now. It will export, okay, 95. So whatever the records which are currently present inside the object, okay, not the deleted one, only the records which are currently present inside the object, only those records will be getting exported. So upon click on this export operation, it will be exporting only the records which are currently present inside the object. It won't touch the deleted records. Okay, it won't touch the deleted records. Only 95 records will be getting exported. But now my requirement is I want to export the 95 records which are currently present inside the object along with the 5 deleted records which are waiting in the recycle bin. Total 100 records I want. In this case, what we can do, we can use the help of export all. Okay, export all. Export all is going to be exporting 95 records which are currently present inside the object along with the 5 records which are waiting in recycle bin. If the records are really deleted permanently from the recycle bin, also we can't fetch it again. It will fetch only 95 only. Okay, whatever the records which are present inside the recycle bin, those records along with the records in the object also both it will fetch. That means the records present inside the object along with deleted records waiting inside the recycle bin. So both the records we can fetch by using, okay, export all. So export all operation is going to be fetching the data from the object along with the deleted records also. Okay, clear? Now, so now here you can raise a question. Sir, it is fetching total 100 records. From these 100 records, how do we know which 5 records are deleted one? How can we differentiate? From these 100 records, how do we know what 5 records are deleted one? How to differentiate? Is it from the object or is it from the recycle bin? In this case, in every object, Salesforce is maintaining one field called as is deleted. There is a field called as is deleted. So this is a hidden field. This field will not be visible to you in the fields list. When you go to that object fields inside the object manager, or when you go to the schema builder also, this field name will not be visible to you inside the fields list, because this is a hidden field maintaining by Salesforce for the internal system reference. For the internal system reference, Salesforce is maintaining this field that is called as is a deleted field, which is a checkbox field, which will be holding either true or false. If the record is a deleted one, it will be holding the value as true. Is a deleted equals to true means record is a deleted record. If it is having the value false means what? Record is not a deleted one. This is from object. Okay, based on this is a deleted field value, we can differentiate, is it from the recycle bin or is it from the object bin? We can identify the record. Is it a deleted record or not? We can differentiate by using this is a deleted field value. Clear? Understood the concept now? Now, make a note of this one. Export R. By using this operation, we can export all the records exist inside the object along with the deleted records also waiting inside the recycle bin. Waiting inside the recycle bin. By using this operation, we can export all the records exist inside the object along with the deleted records also waiting inside the recycle bin. Now, we can differentiate the records based on is the deleted field, which is a standard field in each Salesforce object, which is a checkbox field. Okay, which is a checkbox field. Now, if is a deleted field value is equals to true, that means this is a deleted record. Is a deleted equals to false. That means it is not a deleted record. Done? Now, let's see. So how can we do this one? How can we export all the records from the object? Okay, now let's see practical. Now, so let me go to my Salesforce object first. Let me check, do we have any records waiting in the recycle bin or not? Or else let me remove some of the records. So now these are the account records that we have. Total 15 records are available. Let me check in recycle bin. In recycle bin, we don't have any records available here. Okay, from account object. Now, let me remove them. Now my recycle bin is empty. Let me go to my account object and let me delete some records. I'm removing this record, Sampath Kumar. Delete the record. Next one, Ram Kumar. I'm deleting this record. We have one more record, S-Force. I'm deleting. So now tell me here. In my account object, how many records are available now? 12 records are available. In my recycle bin, I'm having 3 records. Okay. 12 records are available inside my object and 3 records are waiting in the recycle bin for the permanent delete. Now, so now my requirement is I would like to perform the export all operation to fetch the 12 records present inside the object along with the 3 records from recycle bin also. Total 15 records I would like to export. Now let's see. Go to the data loader. Click on export all. Select the object name from which you would like to export the records. Now specify that file. Now I want to export the data to accounts export all.csv. I want to export all the account records from my account object. Now I'm selecting this. I'm giving the file name as accounts underscore export all.csv. Click on save. Now click on next. Remaining story will be same, no change. Select the fields. What fields data you would like to export? I would like to export okay, account number, active status, annual revenue, billing city and the billing country, billing state, customer priority, fax number and the ID field in the industry. Let's see here, there is a field called as is deleted field. Okay, this is a hidden field maintaining by Salesforce in each and every object, including standard, including custom. In every object, this field will be available. But when you go to the object manager or when you go to that schema builder, this field name will not be visible to you at all. But internally, Salesforce is maintaining this field in every Salesforce object. Now I would like to use this field okay, to differentiate the records. I'm selecting this name field value, ownership, phone number and the rating. I would like to fetch the type field value and the website field value. So now here I'm going to fetching the data here. Okay, by selecting these columns. So these are the various columns which I would like to export. Now click on finish button. Now it is indicating you have chosen to perform an export of all records, including deleted records. You want me to go ahead or not? Yes. Click on S button. Now it is indicating there were 15 successful extractions and 0 errors. All the 15 records has been exported. Now, click on OK. Let me go back to my file. So now accounts export all. So now we can see all the records, whatever we have. Now we can see all the records also, whatever we have inside my object, including deleted records also. So now let me check it out here. How can we differentiate this? there is a field called as is the deleted field, which will be holding true or false. Now I want to see what are the deleted records. Just you can apply the filter. Click on this filter option. Click on add the filter here. Now we can specify. I want to see that only the deleted record. That means is the deleted equals to true. Select that option. Now click on OK. Now it is indicating these are the 3 records which are deleted. One S4, Ram Kumar, and the Sampath Kumar. These are the 3 records which are deleted. If you want to see only the undeleted records, that means from the object, just you can select okay, false. Is the deleted equals to false? That means records are not deleted. Now we can see the 12 records here. Whatever the 12 records that you have selected, these are the 12 records. If you want to see both, just you can select that both also. Okay, true and the false. Now we can see total 15 records also inside your Excel sheet. Clear? Understand the concept now? Now, this is how we can perform export operation and export all operation in Salesforce. Okay, now. Next one. So we have few more operations are available. We'll see in tomorrow's session. In tomorrow's session, we'll see how to perform insert, update, upsert, delete. Hard delete, we can't do that because it requires some separate profiles also. That we'll see during that security concept over there. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see these 4 operations. I will give the information about the hard delete also, and then we'll start the concept of reports and dashboards. Okay. So what exactly a report, what exactly the dashboard, we'll see the reports and dashboards features also. Okay.
Hi Feroz, actually
Thank
we
you.
are not, I am not receiving any like daily class